Triple E EDC back again with another knife video. This is the Lil Chief from Pearson Knives. Pearson Custom Knives is run by Ryan Pearson. He is very involved in the live chats and everything for Setting Knife Live on Big Red EDC, and very involved in some other channels as well. I actually got this in a giveaway on Blade Banker's channel. Definitely go check out Big Red and Blade Banker if you can. Now, why am I mentioning that I got this in a giveaway? Because I don't want you guys to think I'm biased. I also am mentioning the fact that I don't necessarily know Ryan Pearson at all, and I don't know, I haven't really talked to him as well. So you don't think that there's any personal discussion going on or personal favor being wrought in this review because of that. So let's go ahead and do some size comparisons real quick. This is a very small knife. Here is a Bradford Guardian 3, which is itself is a small knife. The Bark River Adventurer, again, another small knife, and this thing is much smaller than both of those. The Adventurer itself is actually a neck knife, and it comes in a sheath like this, and so that should tell you, yeah, this is pretty small. So now it is bigger than another neck knife, the CRKT Minimalist. It's bigger than that, and here it is against a Spyderco Tenacious, to give you some size perspective. And let's go ahead and do a pair Military 2 and a pair 3, since a lot of people have those knives. And a Griptilian, Benchmade Griptilian. So you guys can see this is a very small knife. But it's very useful. Now let's go ahead and talk about, the good and the bad on this knife. So the good on this bad first, the good on this knife first is the finishing. The fit and finish on here, I mean, everything is supremely flush. Really nice G10 and liners, red G10, black liners here, black pins. Everything is just finished so flush. Nice contoured G10, I'd say an 8 out of 10 on Ergonomics. Very well done that way. And that's great, a great score on Ergonomics, by the way, from me on a smaller knife, because usually I don't like the way smaller handles feel. But this feels great in hand, and very happy with that. The blade on here is acid etched, so that's part of the finishing as well. And there is a little bit of, a curved tip over here. I did get this, again, secondhand from Blade Banker, so I don't know if that was done before, but it was there when I got it. So I don't know if that came from Pearson that way, but it's just sort of something that I should mention since I noticed it. I do like the fact that despite the size on this, it's decently thick and has a quick taper point, which means this blade should be nice and stout for you. In addition, this steel on here is Nitro V, which is an enhancement on AEBL and 14C28N. Now, those are both great steels for, they're not quite as good as like an M390, for example, or an S35VN, but on a fixed blade, AEBL is a great steel that a lot of smiths will use. And as a result, the slightly enhanced version on Nitro V is a nice steel to use. A lot of people are using it these days in their knives. Ever since it came out in 2017, it's a relatively new steel. So all that is the good. In addition, the pricing on these are customs. Again, they can be made a lot of different ways, so the pricing varies. I don't know exactly how much they cost, again, because I haven't gotten the exact range. My understanding is that they're around the 250 mark. For a custom knife, that's a great price. And, Ryan, if you're watching, Ryan Pearson, go ahead and drop below, what you would charge the range for this knife for the different options in the comments below, or if anyone else knows. But normally I do research the prices on these things, but because this is a custom knife, it's a little harder to do. But in any event, I do know that that's around what he charges, and that is a great price for a custom knife. Again, you're going to be getting this level of fit and finish on a knife that you get to pick out the materials for. It's just great. So that's the good. Let me talk about one more good thing is the jimping here. you know, very nicely done, nice and aggressive and not too aggressive. And you can also get really up on the tip here and get supreme control of especially this belly portion of the blade. So you can get all sorts of nice cuts that you need to make with your belly with very, very good control. So again, love all that. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the bad. So the bad on this is the choil is a little too pronounced for me. Also in the actual cutting of the choil, because it looks like the choil was punched. He actually got a little bit of the tang here. As you can see, it's a little bit curved there. So that's one of the risks that you run with a custom knife, is that it's not going to be, you know, factory perfect. But, you know, that, and then also with the stamping of Pearson, you know, obviously it runs pretty well with that line there, but it's a little bit, well, once you slap the scales on, it looks a little bit off. So those are two of the drawbacks here. Now, are they really big deals? No, they're really not big deals at all. But you know, those are two of the drawbacks. Really, the worst thing or the thing that I would say is the worst on this knife is probably the sheath. The sheath isn't terrible. It's a Kydex sheath, and it does fit relatively well. It works very well on the belt and keeps everything, you know, it keeps everything on your belt. It keeps this on your belt nicely, I should say, out of the way, and it really feels like you're not even carrying a fixed blade. But there is a lot of rattle on this. And I don't like rattle on my sheaths. Also, the retention here is good, but you can see it's only being retained in by this. This is the only thing keeping it in. So I'm a little bit concerned that over time, you know, with pulling it in and out of the sheath, that the sheath is going to wear away a little bit, and you're going to lose some of that retention. So that's the main concern. Is that a big deal? No. There is no thumb ramp on the sheath, but because this is so small and because there's everything is so finely finished, it's not really that hard to just push this off, and so I don't think that's really a problem. But so what do I think about this overall? I'm very happy with this knife. I did donate it away as part of the charity raffle that I was doing, or auction that I was doing for Monster Racing, but that had nothing to do with the knife itself. The quality of the knife is excellent. It's just not a size I would normally use. So I wanted it to go to a good cause. In any event, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't checked out Ryan Pearson and Pearson Customs, go ahead and check that out. And if you're watching, Ryan, go ahead and drop a comment below. Put your information so people can contact you. Thanks so much.